Yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool. What's poppin', gangy? I'm Kenan, a music producer and content creator, and in today's video, we're gonna be checking out and analyzing the new Lucas song, Renegade. It's almost 7 in the morning where I am. The video just dropped a couple hours ago, so you know I could not miss this. I know this is a long-awaited track, especially for fans of Lucas and SM Entertainment, so why don't we just jump into this track? Got my guitar here so we can analyze this one quickly. Let's go. So I've got a little bit of background information here about this song. It was composed by Ronnie Svensson, Adrian Thiessen, and Judith Wick, Bobby Lewis, and Nerman Harambicic. These guys are all part of Design Music, which is a Norwegian songwriting music company. Those same guys did a bunch of stuff for Twice, Red Velvet, NCT, aespa, Girls' Generation, TXT, and yeah, they've been in the K-pop as well as the J-pop world for a little bit now. That's enough talking though, let's start the video. We're in the key of D minor. Okay, so we start in D minor. I'm assuming this is the one. D minor, this is the 1 minor. And then we go to G minor. We just transpose that riff up, but we don't complete it, which is actually pretty cool. And I think that it goes right into that. Feel like the beer at the bottom. They must have forgotten. I broke out of all these more problems. It's free through the colors. They tainting the picture, but I'm also sharp. I swear for the gossip. The rap part here is giving me like some like British rap vibes. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just tripping. I'm kind of getting a little bit of that vibe. This is cool though. I kind of was not expecting this to be in English, although after researching about who wrote the song, I think I figured out that this was probably mostly going to be in English. If not, it's entirely in English. 5, 6, 6. We go back to the 1, to the 3, flat 3. Back to 1. Kind of like at the beginning. Yeah, so they thing. It's spelling out like a D minor triad. We're just adding that 2, which is E in the key of D minor. D, E, F, A, D, right? Before we go any further, you might have noticed I'm throwing around a bunch of numbers, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you might think we're in a math class, but I can assure you that my worst class throughout high school and college was math, so no math here. Let me explain. Most music is built on scales, and in Western music theory, most songs use 7-note scales with some variation here and there. The key of the song that we're in right now is D minor. So the notes that we have to work with are D, E, F, G, A, B flat, and C, though sometimes that C becomes a C sharp, which happens a lot in minor keys. We can give each of these letters a corresponding number, and when I refer to chords as like 4 chord, what I mean by that is a chord built on the 4th note of the scale. Capiche? 5, 6. The chorus here is very similar, I guess, to the verse section, but we're not going to the F, the 3, the flat 3 instead. We're just hanging out on that 1, which is the D minor. 5, 6, 5, flat 6, right? Flat 6, D minor. Oh, so we have a little bit of a different section here. I don't know if this is like a post-chorus kind of thing, but so we actually reverse that switch. We start from the flat 6, going down to the 5. Flat 6 to the 7. Flat 6, 5 minor, 4 minor. Okay, yeah, so I guess it's a little bit of like a post-chorus section there. 6, 7, 6, 5 minor, 4 minor, G minor. Back to the verse. So let's listen to this vocal melody. Make him say, baby, watch me fly. Make him say, baby, watch me fly. Right? The vocals are outlining we're starting on the D, but it's outlining this A major triad, right? Which is the 5 in D minor, and he's outlining that chord in this melody. But what's interesting about it is that he sings this melody over our bass note, which is a flat 6 already. So it creates this interesting kind of rub. Right? It's just you could think of it as just we're still in the D harmonic sort of mode. Pre-chorus again with the ah-yahs. Back to the chorus. And back to the second half of the chorus, I guess, post-chorus. Okay, so here's the bridge section here, right? So what we have had so far in terms of the song form is your typical like pop song structure where you had like an intro, the song had an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. We go back to the verse, back to the pre-chorus, back to the chorus. And now that takes us up to where we are right now, which is the bridge, right? So very typical song structure. As much as people like to say pop music is formulaic, there's a reason that people have stuck to this formula. It's because it works. For me personally, I really love music that does step out of the box, but that's just my personal taste because I can also really appreciate just fine craftsmanship. And this song is, I would say, well crafted. As I understand it, this song has a bit of a backdrop to it. You know, Lucas himself, this is a comeback as far as I understand it. This song's lyrics sort of paint him in a certain way amidst a certain backdrop that he might have. I don't know the full context about it, but if you guys want to explain it down in the comments, feel free. I'd love to learn more. Ooh, okay, so we have some chords here that are outside of the key. So we start on the flat 6. I think that's a major 7. So the melody implies it as a major 7, which because we have that A in the melody. Got my plate full. It's sort of outlining an A minor 7 shape. A minor 7 arpeggio. Flat 6. 5 minor. It's like a flat 2 major 7, right? It's definitely not in the key. But we could think of that as maybe modal interchange, which is when we borrow from a parallel mode. Very quick side note, parallel scales just mean different scales that have the same home bass note. For example, in this song, it's D, so D minor is parallel to D major. Oh, this is what's cool. I just listened back to it, and I noticed that not only is it an E flat major 7, it's an E flat major 9. We can hear that they've added there's a piano instrument that's playing an F note as a part of that E flat major 7 chord. And I think what's really happening here is it's just a particular way of voicing this E flat major chord, E flat major 9 chord. I believe that there is a B flat triad being played at the top there on top of this E flat. So we have the normal E flat triad, do, mi, so, right? And then also we have a B flat major triad being superimposed on top of it. Do, mi, so, right? And when you play those together, it sounds so rich, so wonderful. My absolute favorite type of extended 7th chord, the 9 series of chords. There's so much pull there. There's so much pull in the 9s. And check that movement out there. Yeah, check that movement. They stick with the 9 shapes and move it down to a D minor, which is sort of our home bass, but still keeping the fact that it's a 9. This time it's a minor 9. So rich. Ooh, right? It's so homey. This D minor, it gives us this closed feeling, but closed in a very like hug way, where it's almost like someone's hugging you. It's very closed, very homey. Yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool. Okay, listen to this. Right, so we've had that expression 3 times in a row, right? So this bridge section is 16 bars long. We have done 12 bars already. We've had that flat 6 to the 5 minor, flat 2 to the 1 minor, progression 3 times. One cool songwriting trick to help transport us and propel us into the next section is sort of on those last 4 bars. We've already done 12, but we need 4 more to finish 16. On those last 4, we change it up and pick a progression that propels us forward. And what we saw here is a progression that really has so much forward motion. So check this out. We're starting on the 4 minor, G minor. Yeah. G minor, A minor, A, B flat major 7. So we're climbing 4 minor, 5 minor, flat 6 major 7. We go back to that flat 2 major 9, which is not unfamiliar to us. We've heard this before in that last progression, but that walk up. Yeah, that walk up, we have a polyrhythm thing happening here. Our current time signature is 4/4, right? The chords here are changing in groups of 3/8 notes, right? So we have this 3/2 polyrhythm happening here. Check this out. I'm going to be counting out the main time signatures feel, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to be playing the chords. But take a listen to when the chords change while I play that, the normal click of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So listen, you heard that it kind of is outside and is not really matching up, sometimes matching up, but not always with the click. But check this out. Watch what happens when I do the same rhythm, but this time I'm going to be counting how long each chord change is. And this is an 8th notes here. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We see that these chords kind of float on top, giving us this sense of like, oh, we're moving, we're coming up, only for us to get sent right back into whatever section comes next. I haven't listened to this yet. This is my first time hearing this. That sense of polyrhythm kind of gets us, builds us up, and we land on this chord that doesn't exist in the key. But take a look at this. From this E flat 2 major 7 chord, we do head to the 5 and listen to that movement. Yeah, so I guess that takes us into like a drop, like an EDM drop. But check that out. 2, 3, 5, right? That motion of flat 2 to the 5 to the 1, the minor 1, is what we call, it's a very classical movement. The phrase that I'm about to use is a very classical term. That E flat chord is what we call a Neapolitan chord. This E flat major 7 in the context of this is a Neapolitan chord. And you'll see this a lot in Bach's music. Totally, I feel like it's underused these days. 5. So we're in this drop here. All right, so our drop here is a very typical EDM trap. Trap as a genre can mean so many different things because it encompasses so much. But trap music originated out of the hip hop world. When it crossed over into EDM, you saw a lot of especially in the early 2010s, you saw a lot of like EDM artists taking trap elements and incorporating it into the EDM formula, right? And we're seeing a little bit of what's happening here. This is sort of the opportunity for the producer of the track to be able to show their sound design chops. That might not be true for certain producers, but for the most part, that's kind of what a drop really is. It's a sort of a showcase of sound design on the part of the producer. We go back into that section that preceded that trap little breakdown, that trap EDM drop that we saw with that same sort of progression, the 4 to the 5 to the flat 6, flat 2 to the 5, 1. But this time it's a little bit more soul inspired with much more dense string orchestrations. Think something like 70s Quincy Jones. And we go right into this chorus here. Let's take a listen to it. So this first half of this final chorus here, they're doing a double chorus here at the end, and I'm sure they'll repeat the post-chorus right after this. They're doing like a broken down version of that chorus where it's much more muted. I think the only thing that's backing up Lucas here is marching band drum line. You hear those marching snares and the marching bass drums. And you also hear a little bit of 808s accenting a little bit of the voice there, really low rumble on those 808 bass tones. And they sort of build up into that big chorus there with a drum fill.
Watch me on one again. Renegade, 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 renegade. Let us play, watch me on one again. Renegades, renegade.
Here's that post-chorus here with that.
Renegades, renegade, they started. Let them sing all the words in the movie. Life ain't in the darkness. Renegade.
Nice. Ending it really big on that chorus and sort of harkening back a little bit to the beginning of that. That line there. Sort of just wrapping it up because we've seen it a little bit earlier before.
Let's go get it. Look, I said this.
Yeah, that's one element that ties the whole song together with just a simple melody. You can think of this as a little lick, a little hook that brings everything together. We have at the beginning, there's that cool riff. I kind of wish they brought it back a little, like elsewhere in the song. I might have missed it, but what is cool at least is they brought back that la di da di da. I kind of wish they brought that little funky. It's cool. It's funky. So that's Renegade by Lucas. Honestly, I really dug the song. I'm super into that sort of it's very hard hitting. And I think that it was very on purpose from SM. As I understand it, this is a little bit of a different direction for Lucas. And I think that they're really trying to lean in a little bit into the Western markets here, really trying to push Lucas as this strong, hard star, if you will. I think they came out of the gates with this one with a great tune. It's well written, I should say. It's very well written, concise. It's not a very long song, 3 minutes and 12 seconds, really. Just past 30 minutes. So it's not a long song at all. It's very concise, and that's a compliment because sometimes pop songs, mainstream songs can really drag their heels and overstay their welcome. This song does not do that. This song gets in, gets out, says what it needs to. That's all you could ever really want in a modern mainstream pop song. There's a lot that is at play here, a lot of elements, a lot of musical inspirations I can hear from the production. Definitely leaning into the EDM trap vibes here. I definitely would call this song pop rap. This is obviously the verses are rapped through, and the chorus, the hook, is melodic. All that being said, though, I think this is just a very effective piece of music. I think it's well crafted, well arranged, but that's to be expected for a prolific company like Design Music who writes these songs. But yeah, in short, there's a lot of cool moments in this song, a lot of cool elements that are a little bit different than the norm, which if you know anything about me, I absolutely love. And I think we need more of that. So Renegade by Lucas gets a thumbs up from me. Thanks for watching this video. Check out this other video where I created a FNAF song in just 5 hours. If you want more music reviews like this, consider subscribing and let me know down in the comments below which song I should review next. I'll see you in the next one.